Good evening and welcome. I'm Vincent McCory. This is Africa 54. Anticipation is building in Liberia as the nation awaits the results of the runoff presidential election. Vote counting is still ongoing as the country's newspapers report low turnout in the race between George Weah and Joseph Boakai. Here's VOA's Mariama Diallo.
As Liberians await official results from Tuesday's presidential runoff vote, the National Electoral Commission says the system it had put in place has so far worked.
While the nationwide polling has been smooth, there were some very small number of incidents to report. Where the incident occurred, and I should mention, they have been dealt with on the spot in most of these cases, if not all.
Something echoed by international observers.
And I'm told immediately, the agents raised concern, and so both the clerk who issued the 2 ballot papers and the voter were taken away.
Presidential elections pitted former soccer icon George Weah against Vice President Joseph Boakai. Both promised to tackle corruption and poverty in a country where most citizens have no reliable electricity or clean drinking water.
We went in one time, there were 20 of us. Now we reduced to 2. We have delayed, we've gone through the court process. This is what the process has produced. We're willing to live with it.
Today, Liberians will make their choice. They will choose their leader.
As newspaper headlines report low turnout, some who made the effort to vote say they are simply excited to be part of a peaceful process.
Since the 14 years of civil war, this is the first time they will.
Well, Liberia's National Electoral Commission said on Facebook that the results of the presidential runoff election is likely to be announced on Thursday. Former soccer star George Weah and Vice President Joseph Boakai are looking to make history as the new leader of Liberia, as it marks the first peaceful and democratic transfer of power in more than 70 years.
One of the observations that we make is the elections was conducted in accordance with the law and the NEC regulations. I think that's very important.
Well, the winner of Tuesday's election will replace President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who is stepping down after 2 terms, the maximum allowed under Liberia's constitution. For the latest on the runoff election, let's go to Liberia, where James Batty, managing editor of VOA's Daybreak Africa radio program, joins me by phone from Monrovia. Good evening, James.
Good evening. Have for now to tell the nation, give the first preliminary reports since the runoff election. Everywhere you turn, you look in this country, people are really waiting for the news from the National Elections Commission.
Now, of course, it has been a long time coming. As people await the final announcement, what are their expectations?
Well, this country, democratically, the fact that the country went through this election and survived the 2 legal challenges that followed the first round, that itself was a success. But, you know, whoever is elected, this country has been experiencing some difficult economic times. So the expectation of the new leader, whoever is chosen, whether it's George Weah or the Vice President Joseph Boakai, the people would like for that person to focus on a number of things. For example, the unemployment, particularly among the youth here, the country's health system, education, and the fact that, you know, after so many years after the war, this country does not have a reliable water system where you can go to public offices, you don't see much of the water there. The pressure is very low. Mm-hmm. So they would like for the government, whoever is elected, to focus on that. Yeah. I've been reading the papers, and some of these papers this morning in their editorials are appealing that whether George Weah wins or Vice President Boakai wins, whoever wins and loses, they should be able to accept the results of the elections and move on. People really believe that the fact that the country survived the legal challenges and has come this far, that is a strength to the growing democracy here.
Very quickly, money going out was a big story too.
Yes, I think it was a week ago that the governor of the National Bank of Liberia announced that about more than $400 million had left the country since the electoral cycle, had left the country. It's not clear who was taking this money out of the country, but it's a sign of things to come. Perhaps maybe people currently serving this government, seeing what is coming.
Okay, James.
The possible results have decided maybe time to leave, take the money out of the country.
All right, James, we'll find out a bit more about that perhaps tomorrow. Thank you very much. James Badi is the managing editor of VOA's Daybreak Africa radio program.